What's up, guys? Craig Mack, Liberty Bell Beekeepers here. Just taking a stroll around the bee yard, or the bee roof, I guess I probably should say. It's a beautiful day here in Philly. Highs in the upper 70s. Got all the bees out in the air. Beautiful day. Beautiful day. Just taking a look at this colony here. This one's just jamming. This was my first queen, and she's just been on fire for the last year. Made me a lot of daughters. They did real well as well. Some of them are not as strong as others, but that's the way it goes. Had a couple of empties and a couple of very, very strong colonies. Had a couple of my queens from my splits come back mated, and they're starting to lay. I have several with virgin queens. That one there in particular, that 22, that's a virgin queen. This colony here is just one of those that I just marvel at. I picked this swarm up in a trap from what I think was a bee tree, where it was, and recently my buddy just found a bee tree very close to where I caught this swarm last year, and we're thinking that it's I'm thinking that this might have come from that bee tree. But anyway, this colony here, when I picked it up in the swarm trap, it was no bigger than a baseball. The queen was small. She probably was virgin at the time. But I picked them up. So I just brought them home, put them in a nuke box, and they went through winter just like gangbusters. And this is the only colony I have here in an 8 frame, and they're just jamming. They are absolutely beautiful bees. Beautiful queen. I just added this super not that long ago and put them into the 8 frame. I think this colony is going to do some great things for me. I'm looking to get some daughters from her too. Just a beautiful, beautiful bunch of bees. Got quite a few just out and about, hanging out on the landing boards, making some space, I guess, inside and doing their thing. This was another really strong colony that came through. Most of them that came through are actually really strong. 19 of 30 come through the winter. All 7 of these are all swarms from this year. I think I got 7 of these in 1 week. And they're all doing really well. Nice strong queens. All these bees are just really adding population. This number 4 was a really strong queen coming out of winter. I split her up, and she's just keeping going. I mean, they're just doing really, really well. Yeah, man, the bee yard is jamming. I love it. Love the sound, love the sights, love the smells, love everything about it. This number 2 here, another great queen. Another really strong queen, really strong colony. We look down, the gardens are starting to green. My Brussels sprouts went to flower, and the bees are just absolutely loving those. They've been all over them. My wildflowers are starting to bloom. Some of them that didn't come up last year bloomed first this year, and I replanted some seed. My veggies are starting to poke through. Potatoes along the fence there, they're doing real well, and all my splits are up here on the bee deck. Now, I wanted to talk about my splits actually. I made all these splits April 4th into the 2 frames, took the strongest frame from each one of my colonies and dropped them in. Now, as of right now, what I think happened is all these colonies made splits, or all of them made queens, but they swarmed out of these boxes. And those, I believe, are the swarms that I was picking up here for the last week. Because I only have 5 or 6 mated queens down there, and some of them aren't even mated. A couple of them are still virgin queens. So not sure exactly how successful my splits went really at this point, because some of them were basically empty. like I said, I think they raised virgin queen and they all split. They all took off and swarmed out of these little boxes, and I collected a bunch of them from around the yards. In my other swarm traps that I have one, there's still a colony in this trap right here that I got to clean up and add to a nuke box and bring it up to the roof. But yeah, I'm not really sure as of right now. I'm not overly concerned with the amount of splits that didn't go, because I got all these swarms. Of the 19 splits that I made, or maybe 17 splits, I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 8 that I know have queens down on the B deck. And I have 7 swarms up here. So that's 15 new colonies. So that's what's leading me to believe that those little 2-frame mini nukes, once they got a virgin queen, they swarmed out of them. Luckily, I was able to pick them up from other places, but you know, around the yard, and so far so good. I mean, I'm currently at about I think almost 40 colonies from 19, the beginning of March. So that can tell you how quickly you can make expansion and make increases to your yard. It is not difficult. It is not hard. For me, I'm a treatment-free beekeeper. These bees have never been treated. I didn't feed any of them sugar water or sugar syrup this season. I kept, you know, I didn't take any honey last year. I left them all with all the honey that they made. I do plan on collecting honey this year, but I still love these mini setup, these nuke setups for colony management. I know there's been a lot of talk about it lately. I've seen a lot more people on a lot of the beekeeper pages asking questions about smaller box sizes, smaller brood nests. I think it does wonders for their health. And me personally, I built honey supers for them, just 5-frame medium honey supers, and they jammed them, man. They loaded them, and I love it because it's easy to manage. They're light, comparatively speaking, to a 10-frame. A 10-frame deep full of honey, Christ, that's almost, you know, that's probably 80 pounds. But you know, a 5-frame medium, they weigh in somewhere around 20 or so. Now that means more equipment, but more wooden wear. But all in all, it's, you know, if it's healthier for the bees and you get good strong colonies and good strong honey production, who cares how it comes? That's my frame of mind. So all in all, it's been a fantastic spring so far. Just really amazing the amount of swarming that's happening this summer or this spring. It's been really like overwhelming, even at times. Can't keep enough boxes around, which a lot of times is not a problem for a beekeeper, but it can be for some, because it can get expensive to have this many colonies. I build all my own stuff, so it's just labor hours that it costs me, but I like doing it, so that part doesn't bother me. And I can get a lot more for my money out of making my own stuff. People make them out of scrap and plywood and everything else that they can, the cheapest possible. So just giving a walkthrough, thought everybody might enjoy living vicariously through me for a few minutes. Next time I go, I think I'm going to take a look at my custom hive here. I added a swarm to this because I was out of boxes and frames, and so far so good. They seem to be doing just fine in this. They're not using the front entrances as much as they're using this bottom entrance, which once again is just fine by me. So one of these days I'm going to crack that open and take a look. I'm trying to let them build it out, see what they do with it. As always, you can check us out on social media. I'm right here on YouTube, and enjoy your spring weather if you're getting it. Get outside, yourself out of the house. Stop acting like shut-ins and crazy people. And just enjoy your life safely, but enjoy it. Do it well. Don't wait until someone gives you permission to enjoy your life. Go out and do it. Thanks, guys. Later.